Did you know that 1 in 5 people wrestle with anxiety? Are you one of them? Do you know what it's like to have that nervous energy of anxiety flowing through your body? Today I want to talk about how do you manage your anxiety instead of it managing you. My name is Steve and I've been a pastor for almost 30 years and I'm writing a book on mental health, and I've also been a fellow struggler when it comes to anxiety. As I look back on my life, it's if anxiety has been a constant companion. I remember in high school, I would worry about sports. In college, I would worry about my grades. After I got out of college, I worried, did I have what it takes to make it in this world? It's as if my mind will sometimes just naturally catastrophize, making a molehill into a mountain. You know, this pain in my side must be something very serious. That person didn't get back to me. They must be really mad at me and no longer want to be my friends. What I'm trying to say is that I am a fellow struggler, and I want to just share with you some things that I've learned to help me manage my anxiety. And the first thing is to figure out the validity quotient. Now, what is the validity quotient? You know, one day I just thought about this question: what is my batting average? In other words, I thought about all the things that I've worried about over my life. How many of them have come true? Do you know what? Very few. And that's the day that I realized worry really is a waste of time. In fact, I would just encourage you to just think about the things that you're worried about, the things that you habitually worry about. Write it down and then ask, how often does it come true? And what you'll find is that worry is a waste of time. So figuring out the validity quotient really helped me. But then it just seemed like worry was in my bones. Worry was in my body. There was just a nervous energy. And that led me to my next tip, which was exercise. Exercise is one of the most valuable tools in my toolbox when it comes to anxiety. So I would just encourage you that if you don't have a regular exercise habit, how could you start? Whether it's biking, whether it's walking. And you know, something else is that if you are really wrestling with anxiety, I would encourage you to talk to your doctor, because you want to make sure that it's not a biological source. You know, maybe you have a high thyroid and that can kind of give symptoms of anxiety. Now, exercise is so important. But then I found myself having these intrusive thoughts come into my mind. And I'm like, what do I do with that? And that led to the next tip, which is thought management. And what I realized was that I couldn't control the thoughts that come into my head, but I could control what I did with those thoughts. One of the tools that really helped me was journaling, just writing on paper the thoughts that are in my head and then being able to distance myself from them and ask, is it true? Is it noble? Is it right? Is it pure? Is it lovely? And is it admirable? But then I thought to myself, okay, journaling is great, but what about those times when I don't have time to just push the pause button and journal? And that led me to my final tip, which I learned from Dr. Henry Cloud, which is feel and ignore and engage. What does that mean? When you're anxious, feel it. Say, I'm anxious. It is what it is. You know, think about having a party and you have an unwelcome guest there. I'm going to just call him Uncle Jared. And imagine if you spent the whole time trying to get Uncle Jared to leave the party, and the party was done and you realized, wait a minute, I missed out on the party because I just tried to get Uncle Jared to leave. That's the way anxiety is. You can spend all this time trying to get rid of it, when what if instead you just accepted it is what it is and I'm going to enjoy the party. Next, you ignore all that negative chatter going on in your brain, and then you engage in the task at hand. Whether that's chopping wood, whether that's mowing the lawn, you just really engage in what you're doing. Well, guys, I've wrestled with anxiety my whole life, but these tips have really helped me to manage my anxiety instead of being managed by it. In closing, I want to read to you Isaiah 41:10. So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand.